Coming up on UFC Ultimate Insider, the best of Unguarded. From Forrest Griffin to Carlos Condit, Dan Hardy, Josh Koscheck, Frank Mir, and Randy Couture. When fighters let their guards down, the hits keep coming. All ahead on this week's edition of UFC Ultimate Insider.
Hey everybody, I'm Ariane Celeste, and welcome to this special edition of UFC Ultimate Insider. On our show this week, we take a look back at Unguarded. To kick things off, Dan Hardy, with his signature mohawk, is one of the most recognizable fighters in the UFC. The Outlaw sat down in front of our camera to let loose for this edition of Unguarded.
Johnny Depp, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, genius. That's my fancy dress costume. As soon as I'm going to a costume party, I have it ready. I've never worn it yet, but I have the glasses and the visor and the flowery shirt and the crazy trousers, and I'm ready to go with that one. I'm even going to shave my head and shave the top so I look like I'm bald. I can't wait. It's going to be great. You know, I shaved my head a while back. I went to one of the UFCs and no one recognized me. People were just walking past me. It was weird. Sometimes I just want to cut it off. Sometimes it won't do as it's told, and it's, you know, it'll lean to one side or it won't spike up straight, and it's the disappointment in the fans' faces when they meet me and they're like, oh, I really don't want to photograph with you if you've not got the mohawk, you know. So I designed a couple of my tattoos. I did my first tattoo of the week, actually. That was quite interesting because I've never done a tattoo before, and I've never even considered trying it. So a friend of mine was over visiting from the East Coast, and he decided he wanted a really tattoo, and I was the person to do it. I tattoo myself, but somewhere where nobody could see it, because I'd probably do a really bad job. If I was doing it on myself, I'd probably be making a mess of it because of the pain. I hate getting punched in the face. I'll be honest. I don't like getting punched in the face. I don't like stubbing my toe on the coffee table. I don't like getting tattooed. Anything that's painful is not fun for me. But the trade-off with competing, with fighting, is that if I get punched in the face, that means that I can punch them in the face, and that is one thing I do enjoy doing. So I don't mind trading one punch for two or three.
My favorite thing to do as a kid was we used to raid the neighbors' gardens. We'd go in at night and get carrots and radishes and vegetables, and then we'd all go to the school across the street and kind of compile what we'd taken from the different gardens and have a feast. Vegetables, yeah. I was the oldest of three. I have two younger sisters, Yolanda and Tracy. My next youngest sister, Yolanda, was always bigger than I was. She's very tall. She's 5'10", and I didn't grow till after high school, so she always called me Shorty, and we had some good scraps. She hit me in the head with a broom. We were fighting over who had to clean up the dog mess, and she got the broom first and was swinging it around, and I was trying to get the broom, and she clubbed me right in the head with a big push broom. First time I got punched in the face, unexpected. It was at a Boy Scout camp, and one of my best friends, Mark Baggerly, we got into an argument, and he just hauled off and smacked me right in the face. And it was, I think more than anything, it was a surprise that he had punched me that hurt me more than the punch itself. Well, the very first time I walked out for a fight was UFC 13, and I seriously thought I was going to pee down my leg. It was pretty intense and surreal at the same time. But it's something you kind of wrap your brain around and you get used to, and now it feels pretty comfortable. You wait for that entrance music. You've trained hard for that moment to walk out there and show everybody what you've trained to do. I don't get nervous about it at all. I'm very excited. I love what I get to do, and try to keep that frame around it and smile, which kind of freaks some people out when you're smiling when you're walking into a cage to fight in front of 16 to 20,000 people. But usually makes me smile and go out and have fun.
I remember getting in fights when I was like in preschool, like literally. I remember some kid trying to claw my face because I took his cornbread in daycare. Another one I remember, I was maybe in second grade. We were playing basketball and talking trash about each other's moms, and somebody got upset and I had to beat him up. We were actually friends after that, but yeah, that day I had to beat him up. I didn't go to school much. I was kind of bored with school. I was usually pretty smart, and if I applied myself, I did well. But I had other things that interested me more. My dad is my biggest fan. When I was a kid, first starting MMA, and I didn't have a car yet, he would get off work early every day and take me down to the gym. I don't know if he thought that it was going to, turn out to be a career and I was going to go as far with it as I have. But yeah, he's absolutely into it. When you walk out to the fight, you just feel the energy of the crowd, and whether they're with you or whether they're against you, it's just, it's immense. I would kind of describe it as a roller coaster. You feel good, feel normal and nice and calm, and then all of a sudden you're hitting a curve and, feeling the butterflies and your hands are getting sweaty, and then, you kind of go to a more tranquil place. I've done this so many times. It's just another day at the office. Staring across at your opponent, it's just like, what I do every day when I go in and I spar. I I spar tough guys in the gym. They're trying to take my head off, just like an opponent would. I'm not the biggest dude, and I don't look like a fighter really. And I think that's why people underestimate me, and they usually tend to pay for that.
My first ride, you believe it or not, Astro minivan, black and silver, baby. Let's see, had 2 seats in the front, a bench. How sick is that, right? Hey, I saved money. I didn't need to get a hotel, Back seat, fold right down. No, I'm just kidding. Do I have fear of going bald? Hell yeah. I mean, look at me. I got a nice rack on me right now. That's why I keep it like, kind of long so I can pet it forward. I started dyeing my hair when I was probably about 25 years old. Time out. Actually, one of the worst things about dyeing my hair, some girls, like when they get drunk, they come up to me and ask me if I'm Tito Ortiz. And I'm like, ugh, that's disgusting. I think that, with my hair and my image, I think I tricked a lot of motherfuckers out there. For the first 4 years, it was like, boo, every time I got into, they show me on TV, or when I walk into an arena. I remember, the famous words from Dana White. He said, congratulations. And I was like, what do you mean, congratulations? I was a little confused. And Dana says, they're booing you. Congratulations. And I said, they're booing me, so you're congratulating me. I said, all right, thanks. He goes, well, it could be worse. It could be like a church if they show you on the big screen. I said, you're right. And then from that day on, I said, I'm just going to roll with this, and, we'll see where it takes me. I live my life day to day. I don't look ahead in my life, and I don't look in the past. I don't have a backup plan. My backup plan is, win the welterweight belt and become the UFC welterweight champion. I don't have a dad underneath me with a fishnet saying, it's okay, Koss, if you take second, we're going to catch you. It ain't going to work like that for me. I've always been a type of person that says, you know what, I'm going to take care of myself, I'm going to provide for myself, and I'm going to make it. So, that's the goal, that's the plan.
I love knowledge. I love to read. Socrates. Xenophon, Apology by Plato. I know it's really old. People are looking at me like I'm not just throwing it out there just to sound obnoxious. Let's see, what do I love? I love Wikipedia. I think that's the most awesome invention in a long time. My iPad and Wikipedia, and I'm a pretty happy camper. I gotta tell you, this is awkward. I know that I'm a UFC fighter, and that itself is what it is. But, I sit there and go, man, there's some guy who he graduated college, he's a heart surgeon, and he traveled over into, Africa, and he's sitting there and he's working for nothing and helping out, and he's, getting grants, and that's somebody I would like to, wow, what did you eat for breakfast? You know what I mean? Like, that's impressive. That's somebody that I sit there and I give, the 1,000-yard stare to. I'm like, wow, you devoted your life to improving humanity. I'm an extraordinarily hard judge upon myself. My justification to that is why do I have to sit there and evaluate what I'm already good at? Who cares? I got to sit there and think about what I suck at, what I'm not good at. That's what I should consume all my thoughts with. So I guess when it's all said and done, the first step for me to do that is to go to college and to be able to really, pull more knowledge in on my part. But that's something that I hope to be able to give back in some way, and not through donating money to a charity, but through actual, the labors of my mind and body.
Guy goes into a bar, orders 13 shots of tequila. Says, I want them all right now, lay them up on the bar. Bartender's like, you sure? Throws up the 13 shots of tequila. Guy takes the first one, throws it on the floor. He takes the last one, throws it on the floor. Then he takes the other 11, downs them. Bartender says, what the was that? And he said, the first one tastes like and the last one makes me feel like so I just did the ones in the middle. My first date in high school. I was in middle school when I had my first date. Booyah! I know. That's all I do is awesome. It's a funny story about my mom and fighting. When you're 30, you realize that most of the advice your mom gave you when you're a kid was actually good advice you should have followed. My mom puts me in piano lessons, and I'm a spaz. And after about a week, the lady gives my mom her money back and says, piano ain't for him. He can't do it. You know, she hates violence, won't let me watch violence on TV. She'll let me watch nudity on TV, but she won't let me watch violence on TV or eat junk food. Ironically, now I fight for a living, and I eat junk food like it's going out of style. I usually make a little analogy about walking out to a fight. I was going to jump out of a plane once. So we jump, and you hit the air, and the second you hit the air, it's just unbelievable. It's just exhilaration, you know. I can't express it, you know. And that's how walking out to a fight is. All of a sudden, you hit, and you see the audience, you hear the crowd, you see the guy you're going to fight, or they play your song, whatever. And it's just, you know, the fear, the nerves, it just becomes, oh my God, you know. Just on the average morning, you wake up, what would you rather do? There's nothing. I'd rather go train. I'd rather fight. I'd rather get in a cage in front of 10, 12, 20,000 people and fight, you know. That's I don't know, man. I think that's why God put me here. I really do.
Here's a look at what's coming up next time.
On next week's edition, Frankie Edgar heads to the Meadowlands to fire up the New York Jets.
If I could give you guys anything, is believe in yourself and be mentally tough, because you only get so many chances in life. Let's get after it tomorrow. Let's roll these guys.
Gray Maynard breaks down his first fight against Edgar.
That's where I think I broke my hand, that overhand right. I think I heard a pop.
And Brandon the Truth Vera lives up to his nickname in Unguarded.
I've had a fan almost throw up in me. He was just talking to me, and said, oh, excuse me, turn over my shoulder and puke. And then just kept talking like it was cool.
Look for next week's all-new episode on UFC.com beginning December 30th.
We'd love to hear any ideas and comments you have on the show. Email us at UFCUltimateInsider@UFC.com. For our entire team at UFC Ultimate Insider, I'm Mariani Celeste, and we'll see you next time.